All right, so hey folks, I'm Joey Osborne, the man behind this mask, Jerry Yoder.
Hello again.
Behind here. Coming to you again today, we're going to demonstrate, if things go well, Jerry, we're going to demonstrate two different methods for releasing a queen. So we're here in the bestbeehive.com bee yard, and this is where we do experimental things. So you'll see there's some odd looking things here. There's a styrofoam box here we're testing. You'll see this box, this hive has our feeder cover on top. Over here by Jerry, we have a more conventional Langstroth hive with, again, with our our bestbeehive.com feeder cover on top of it. So we got some variety going, but that's just what we do here in our bee yard for testing. So we introduced two packages. Package in this Langstroth hive, a package in the styrofoam hive. And all we're going to do today is look at two different methods of releasing a queen. So Jerry, explain to us what we have in your box, and then we'll talk about what we have in this one. And we'll just
okay. In this box, we have a conventional setup for a queen and a little queen cage, and it's got her workers in there with her. We installed this on Sunday afternoon, and about 3 days now, we're going to check and see if the queens have released, if the workers have gotten them out. If not, then we're going to go ahead and release them and get them into the hive. And in this box, we've got a different setup. So Joey, maybe you'd like to tell us about that
first? Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we'll just do this one first. So the difference here is we've used a more of a modern innovation that's actually a queen cage that's designed to, I think, to facilitate the process a little of releasing a queen. I'll show it to you when we take it out. But what we do know for sure in this particular hive is the queen has not been released. So what we're going to do now is go in and verify, first of all, that she's alive in her cage, and if she is, we'll flip a little lid and we'll release her. So we're going to give the bees just a couple of puffs of smoke, just to calm them down. Our hive cover feeder makes this process, I think, really easy. So we're just going to pop this styrofoam cover off. And what I like to do is gradually raise the lid. I don't want to shock the bees by raising it all at once, so I like to lift the lid about this much and then just give them a couple of puffs of smoke, and a few pop out now. So now I'm just going to gradually take the lid off. Jerry, I don't know your opinion on that, but I just don't like to just quickly remove the cover, because
no, I think you need to take your time and go slow. It keeps the bees from getting excited. You tend to have less issues if you do that.
Absolutely. So here you can see that they look healthy, right? They're busy. Yeah. There are a lot of bees in here. So I'm going to give them another little puff now, just to calm them down. The wind's blowing, so I'm trying to position the smoke so that it just covers the bees. So I'm just going to go straight to this unique little queen cage, and Jerry's seeing it for the first time in action. So all I'm going to do now is pull this out very gently, and I'm going to have to get rid of some bees. More than likely, oh, this is really cool. Look at this cone. So this is drawn out cone that they've added. They put some honey in there, right?
Just in a couple of days.
Yeah, just in a couple of days have they done that. So I want to look, because I'm seeing some dead bees in here, and this could be a bad indication. I don't see that that's the particular one's the queen, so I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm just going to gently move some bees aside, and I hope that we see the queen in this chamber out here. Yes, we do.
Yep, there she is.
There she is. So the queen is in, and she's out there moving around. So these dead bees that we saw over in the original queen cage were worker bees, and they've gone back in there probably to eat this candy that's in here. I'm going to move over to another camera to get a close-up of this.
Okay.
So here's what we're looking at then in an up-close view. This is a typical standard queen cage, and this simply inserts into this modified queen release mechanism. So the bees have drawn out this comb on the bottom, so that's a good sign. They're really active and moving along. So when I spin it around, which is what I did earlier, you can get a closer look, and I'll just try to move some bees aside so you can get a look at the queen. And she's in there. I don't know, it may be difficult to see her, but the queen is in there just above my finger. She's healthy and moving around. So now what we're going to do is insert this back in the hive, and I'm going to open this little top door. Now that she's been in there 3 or 4 days, she'll have plenty of time to have, the bees will have, worker bees will have plenty of time to become acclimated to her. So I'm just going to open the door, that'll release her, and then I'll come back in another day, maybe less than 24 hours, and then just take this out and put a new frame back in it. So that's what we're going to do now.
Joey, while you're doing that, just so the folks will know, this is a great package of bees. They are already working, making some pretty white wax, and they're working about 5 frames in there already. So
Awesome.
yes, super package.
So as our test, you may notice that we're running different, you see some plastic brood frame in here, some wood frame. So we run a variety of things here in the bee yard. And again, we're always testing. We're constantly looking for improved and easier ways to do beekeeping. And this, I believe, is an easier method. At least it gives you verifiable proof that the queen is alive and well and that she's active. So I'm just going to put this back in, just like so. And now I'm going to be prepared to put the cover on it. I'm going to open this little door, and that will, in effect, release the queen. She's not likely just to come flying out of there, obviously, so it's just a matter of flipping this little gate open. Now the workers are going to rush in
There
there.
she goes.
Well,
She's
that
coming.
wasn't her.
Oh, it wasn't her.
No, that's a worker. So we could watch for her to come out. Let's just do that. Let's just see if we can see her come out. More than likely, it'll be a delay process. She'll probably hang out in there for a while, especially with us up here looking like prey animals over her. So that's how that works.
That's
so we'll
neat.
just leave her. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll take this back out, verify that she's gone, and then we'll take a look inside. But you're right, I see plenty of activity, and I believe these bees are off to the races. So we'll place back on our cover. While we're here, we'll take a quick look. This is a good example of a cover that's been out now in the bee yard for going on 3 years, 2.5 years, and you can see it's held up great. So these are amazing covers. We have our sugar water in here, so you see the feed is in here. The bees, being a new colony, they need that. We have some ants that we're going to need to tend to, but as soon as we remove this sugar water, the ants will go away and the bees will be able to defend. So that's that. So let's take a look, Jerry, then at the more conventional way.
All right.
I'll let you take the lead in explaining what you're doing here.
Well, we're going to do a conventional release on a queen today, and that's on as you would do in your bee yard. This is just a standard Langstroth hive, 10 frame. What we've done, as you can see, we've inserted the queen cage in between the 2 middle frames, and that's drawn comb in there. So they've got something they can go to work on immediately. The other's fresh wax, but we did put some drawn comb in there. So we're going to release the queen if she isn't already. I'm kind of hoping she's already out and about, but we're going to find out here in just a minute.
While you're getting your smoke ready, I'm going to grab a camera and bring it up closer so we're sure to get a good view of that.
Now, Joey, one of the things that I really like about this top in a conventional hive, of course, you got the inner cover, and then you've got the cover. You've got to take the cover off, and then normally what most beekeepers do, they'll take and they'll pry that inner cover up just a little bit and spray a little smoke. Here's a little shortcut for you. Just raise that plexiglass up, puff a couple puffs of smoke in there, get the bees all calmed down, let them know you're coming in. And we'll see right now if the queen is still in her cage. The other thing, and I think we talked about this on a previous video at some time, but if you'll notice there are 4 little indentions right here, and it's just excellent for popping the lid loose. You know, bees will propolize this top over a period of time. And if you take your hive tool and you just slide it into one of those indentions, you have easy access to the inside of the hive. I'm going to tell you what, this is a pretty good package here also. The bees are really working. I'm going to take
now you're getting positioned to pull out. You're just making some room here, is that what
yeah,
you're doing
I'm going to
now?
take one of the frames out for the time being.
One of the things with our rack system here, Jerry, since you do this will hang. Well, it's designed for this to fit perfectly.
Sure will. Who had that great
I don't
idea?
know
that's
who the
fabulous.
genius was that came up with that one. But,
So I've got a hold of the little wire, and the beekeeper that put this package together for us, he uses wire instead of straps on his queen cages. So I'm
You're now popping out the queen cage.
going to pull that loose very easily, and looky here. She is out.
Queen has escaped. Why don't you point out how that happens, Jerry, for new folks, the candy and the cork
Sure.
scenario?
If you'll notice in this, and again, this is a conventional cage, just like you were using in yours, only used a newer method in terms of releasing. On one end is basically a little sugar block, a little candy block. On the other end, you can see here, they've actually been chewing on that cork, is a cork end, so they really wanted to get her out. That one bee right there is a worker bee. It was dead, actually, when we got the queen. But what they'll do, once you take the cork out of this end and punch a little hole, I normally use a nail, normally a 16-penny nail or so, finish nail. And once you punch a hole in that, it gives them a little better access to that sugar. So they'll start eating that sugar away until they get that queen out. And once she's out, with all good luck, she's laying.
Awesome.
So we'll take a little look here. You can see they've started building some wax in between the hive.
You want to pop out a frame and see if we see her?
Yeah, let's do.
You're looking at close to the center first. Of course, that's typically where we'll find her.
Why don't you look at that honey in there?
Already putting honey in. I see some pollen in there
Mm-hmm.
as well.
And
No
that-
capped brood yet, but that wouldn't be expected. It's too early to be seeing capped brood.
And I'd say with just a minimal guess, that queen's
She's
going to
under
be,
that- under this big clump
yeah,
of bees
she's going to
here.
be somewhere right in there. That's just a
Yeah.
guess, because they're really active, dancing around.
Yeah, they are.
Good looking. Got all kind of same thing. Little honey and some
I
pollen.
didn't mark these queens. I really like. I've gotten so I really like using marked queens. It just makes them so much easier to see because it's not easy. It's not easy for an old pro, especially an old pro with old eyesight, to be able
Amen, brother.
to spot those.
And it takes some time, you know, when you're doing your hive inspections, you really need to go slow. We talked about that a few minutes ago.
Absolutely. Here's a huge drone. I don't know if he's showing up or not, but these drones are that's a massive.
Yeah, he is.
massive
He is a
drone.
whopper. But they look really good. There's another one right down here toward my wrist.
Yeah.
They are really working.
You know, another thing I like to see, and it's a cloudy day today, off and on sun. These bees are calm, and they're relatively, I mean, they're staying right on the frames doing their work. So it's a cool thing to see. That it's a good indication, I think, of the health of the hive when the bees are content in doing what they're doing.
Well, you know, it's like we were talking when we did this installation of these packages. This is a good looking package of bees. So was yours, the one over in the other hive. Very impressive what we got from the beekeeper that sold us these. But we've got some frames you can see here. This is new wax. And
New wax foundation. The bees will soon draw that out. They typically start in the middle.
so they are already working. You can see down here in the corner, they're working on that frame right now. Good looking, really is.
Okay, well, folks, that's the couple of different techniques. I'm sure there are other methods. We are by no means the end-all experts for this kind of thing, but we shared with you at least a couple of techniques for releasing the queen into the hive. So we'll keep you updated. Look forward to seeing you on another video here at bestbeehive.com. Happy beekeeping.